Welcome to Framework Fortune and welcome back Framework Fortune community. I'm your host Ben and it's time for another one of Ben's stock reviews. And this is a list of stocks suggested by Master Sparky, one of the Framework Fortune subscribers. So I aptly named this Master Sparky's list of precious metal stocks. And we're going to take a look at each one of these. So appreciate Master Sparky for throwing out this list and suggesting these stocks to take a look at. And also, Master Sparky, I appreciate that tip that you gave me in the live stream the other day. So let's jump right in. So first we have EXK, Endeavor Silver Corporation. This has been around since 2007. Not a real crazy mover. On the monthly chart here, we have this downtrend. Let's go ahead and switch to a daily chart. So for this to come back bullish, it needs to break above 8, break above the downtrend. It's currently pretty bearish. Had a nice climb there for a while over the past year, but has since sold off starting in June. The below all EMAs don't exactly like it being that bearish, but there is some support right where it's trying to hold up at this 475 area. You can see it was resistance back here, resistance back here, resistance through here. Held as some support through here, another point of contact where it held support, and then over the past couple of weeks holding this area still. So if it can bounce off of 475 and get back over 5, the technical side, this could get going again. But let's take a look at some of their numbers. So here on their income statement, see they had $144 million in revenue in 2020, a net income of $1.2 million. 0.84% profit margin. It's not a huge profit margin, but they're still profitable, it looks like. Total assets of $210 million. Total liabilities, $51 million. Debt to assets, 24%. So it's under that 30%. I like that. Total revenues, kind of been up and down, but in 2020 a little bit higher. They did have a 21% increase at $144 million. And we do have a free cash flow for 2020 of $13 million. So yeah, this is not too bad, whatever they're doing. Looks like we got a float of $150 million. Not too bad, not too high. Looks like 2018, 2019 were just not great years for this company, but they've done better in 2020, kind of getting back to those 2017 numbers. So let's pull the website up real quick. So they are specifically only focused on silver mines. Let's jump into their investor presentation here. They've got 3 high-grade silver and gold mines in Mexico, reducing operating costs, boosting free cash flow. We saw that, so they are keeping to their word on that. Best organic growth profile in silver mining sector. Okay. Track record of virgin discoveries to expand resources, so they're finding new ore bodies. They're doing mergers and acquisitions when they can. So here's the mines in Mexico. Then it looks like they've got some mines in Chile that they're taking a look at. They have 6 exploration projects. So that's a lot of money if they start pulling stuff out of the ground on those 6 projects. But they already have 3 that are operating, 1 developmental. So if they nail it on all of these, that would be 10 operations. This would be a silver company going from 3 to 10. That would be some pretty strong growth. And looks like their biggest producer is this Wanasevi. I'm not exactly sure how to say that, but 56% of their production. And they're about half and half silver and gold. So Q1 2021 revenue, $34 million. That's nice. Yeah, their financial strength is improving. We saw that in the numbers. Their outlook for 21, production slightly higher, all the same stuff. Everything's looking good. They got the program trying to expand the resources, and Chile drill program has strong discovery potential. During Q2, higher throughput and grades resulted in production exceeding plan. Mining the new higher grade El Curso ore bodies has led to significantly improved grades and mine plan flexibility. So without going too much more deeper into it, I like what I'm seeing on this silver company. This is one that could have possibly made my list if I compared it with the other ones, because it does have some potential. Great suggestion there, Master Sparky, on the first one. 1 for 1 on decent looking stocks. So next we got SVM. This is SilverCorp Metals Inc. And looks like they've been around for a little while, back to about 2010. Same thing on the chart, downtrend that it needs to break out of. Had a nice climb there last couple of years to get back up to this downtrend. Actually gave it another test, a quick test there. So this stock and the last stock both are moving very similar. Got $202 million in revenue, $48 million in net income with a profit margin of 24%. That's nice. Balance sheet, ooh, I like this balance sheet. $656 million in assets, only $90 million in liabilities. Debt to assets, 13%. And it looks like they do also pay a dividend, so we'll check into that in a second. Gross profit has increased, and it looks like it's going to continue to increase. So has total revenue. So the assets have been growing over the past 4 years. That's good to see. Liabilities are staying pretty similar, so they're running their company decently. Let's see, do we got a positive cash flow? We do. $36.91 million and then $35.4 million in 2020. They've been positive cash flowing for the past 4 years, so very nice. We got 175 million in shares, so not too high of a float. So SilverCorp, profitable Canadian mining company producing silver, lead, and zinc metals and concentrate from mines in China. That's a little concerning. Robert Kiyosaki had a silver mine and gold mine in China, and they pretty much stole it from him. And that's not the only story I've heard of that happening. But let's dive in a little bit further and see the presentation. So it looks like they got 3 mines in China, 2 of them near Hong Kong. They have 15 plus year mine life remaining, so they got plenty to tap out of there. And we can see their organic cash generation and expenditures. Cash and short-term investments have been climbing. Investment in NUAG, so that's another stock, I'm assuming. And then there's that dividend payment right there. So we'll get a better look at that. But it looks like they're paying out quarterly, which is nice. 77 million ounces of silver over 15 years. You can see silver production is increasing in the Ying mining district and the GC mine. So that's nice. They're pulling more silver out. And their resources are growing. Their reserves are growing. Their inferred resources are growing. Very nice growth in this company. 1 billion pounds of lead and zinc. So they're pulling out a ton of that. So it looks like they have some investments in New Pacific Metals, Whitehorse, New Infinite Silver, Oh My Gold Mines, and Volcanic Gold Mine Inc. And it looks like they're gaining some nice interest on these. So they've got some good investments along with their mines. And it looks like they have another mine they're trying to start in Mexico. So yeah, let's hop back into the chart and look at the dividends. So here's the dividends in blue. They paid out a penny on June 3rd. It's only a $5 stock, so that quarterly dividend of a couple of cents, and it being a silver mining stock, it's pretty good. Looking at their numbers, this is another one that could have gave a lot of the ones on my list a run for their money. So once again, 2 for 2, Master Sparky. You definitely have done your due diligence. LODE has a crazy chart, so I'm not going to look all the way back through there. We don't have any dividends in 2021. It has popped up. It was down at $1 area. Got all the way up at 10 at one point. We have a downtrend on this one as well. Actually, we have a triangle on this one. You can see there's the support right at $3. So it is a little bit below the triangle at the moment, just barely. But the 200-day is holding up right there, and that's where it's bouncing off of. So this is very close to possibly breaking to the upside as this triangle is at the tip. Now, it could drop down, but that 200-day so far has been holding pretty good. So at $3 for now, let's just take a look at the numbers, get a little idea of what's going on here. So balance sheet, $43 million in assets, $11 million in liabilities, 26% debt to assets. That's not bad. I can deal with that. Let's see. Total revenues have been growing their assets up to 43 million in assets. Very nice. Liabilities are actually decreasing. We don't have a positive cash flow, so I'm not a fan of that. Only 26 million in float, so this is a very low float silver company. So it seems like, without going too far into it, they've had some problems, but they're starting to fix them. And it being that low float, if buying volume was to come back in, especially at the tip of this triangle, this could be a pretty explosive move, maybe up to that 628 area. So I actually am going to keep this on close watch, but let's hop into their website real quick and check the presentation. Okay, so they are going for the green energy, and they're able to recycle, it looks like, and reuse a lot of the metals right here in this process, so that's very interesting. So the current projects, company completed the realignment during 2019, so after that realignment they're doing better. The new corporate structure is now well aligned with the strategic focus, and COMSTOCK Mining remains as the parent company that wholly owns the realigned subsidiaries. They own and control Lucerne properties, including those contained in North Comstock joint venture. Comstock Processing LLC owns the American Flat Processing Facility and additional land for potential expansion. Comstock Northern Exploration owns and controls the remaining Story County mining claims and exploration targets, and that is in the Lucerne properties, including the Gold Hill targets and the Occidental Lode. They also own and control the Lyon County mining claims and exploration targets, including the Dayton Resource Area and Spring Valley target. They also own Silver Spring properties and water rights. And then Comstock Real Estate owns the Daney Ranch and Gold Hill Hotel assets. So they're not just a silver and gold mining company. They got quite a bit going on. So that's pretty interesting. So with that realignment, that makes sense why they were doing so bad back here. And since they've done that, this year they've been doing pretty decently. They have a lot of assets, a lot of potential. It's not my favorite so far, but it could be a good one if they can continue doing what they're doing. So I give you a half on this one. We'll say 2.5 out of 3 so far of pretty solid picks. This one could be, but it's just a little sketchy still. So next we got TMQ Trilogy Metals. This is a very interesting chart. Yeah, this thing's done pretty well here in 2021, getting a nice climb up. We do have a bit of a trend line possibly forming, and it is down on the trend line below all EMAs, so a little bearish at the moment. But if they've got some good numbers, this could be a decent place to grab it off of this trend line for a bounce. And only $2, pretty cheap. So let's check out the financials. 2020, they don't have hardly any liabilities. 185 total assets, 1.5 million in liabilities, so under 1% on debt to assets. That is quite a significant change from where they were at, so that's very strong for 2020. See, the profits negative. This is what I was expecting, a lot of negative numbers, because they're just now starting to turn things around. Let's hop into the balance sheet. Their total assets have grown significantly. They've tripled here in 2020 from the past few years. That's pretty strong. So they're better in their cash flow. They're not net, they're not positive yet, but they're close. Only minus 3 million in cash flow. So if their numbers are better this year, we definitely could see them have some free cash flow for 2021. They keep at the rate they're going, this may be a pretty decent stock. See, currently 90 million in shares, so not too high of a float. Okay, copper for a greener future. We like that messaging. Check out their latest presentation. They got a pretty site so far. Look at that nice, pretty land there that they're trying to mine. That's beautiful. So they're pulling lots of copper and zinc out of the ground. Decent amount of gold and silver. And it's high-grade copper, so that's nice. Located in Alaska. 50/50 joint venture with South 32 Limited. Ambler Mining District with significant exploration upside. Then they got another one there. It says the Bornite Exploration, 6 billion pounds in copper, 70 million pounds in cobalt. Well-funded balance sheet, no debt, 8.4 million in cash. I like it. I like it. And they have some major shareholders here that are holding a pretty decent amount, including Electrum Group. I would be interested to see who they are. So yeah, TQM, not bad at all. I give you another one for that one. So far, 3.5 out of 4 picks. Not too bad. GTE, GRAN, TIERRA Energy. So this may not be a metal stock. Let's see this chart. So they've been on a downtrend for a while, all the way down to 50 cents. Currently below all EMAs, just like the other ones. Of course, we did just see gold drop, or 2% the other day, which kind of brought all the mining down. Assets to liabilities, I don't like 78%. That is way too high. They had some good gross profits before, but really low in 2020. Negative 51 million. Revenues have been decreasing. I don't like that. See, assets have decreased. I am not liking this one. They have brought their cash flow closer to positive from the negatives in 2020. 380 million in float, so a little higher in float. Only 48 shareholders. Looking at these numbers, I could go into it deeper, but I think the other 4 we've covered so far have a lot better potential than this. But Master Sparky, I'm sure you've done your due diligence, let me know why you put this one on the list, because I don't like it that much. And finally, we have SBUM. This is Silver Buckle Mines. Looks like they've been out since 1999, out for a while. Does have a big downtrend that it's been in. Here in the last 2 years, they've been slowly climbing up. This is an OTC stock, so we'll see what we can find on them. But you do have a decent little triangle. Very low volume though, as this is really barcodey, but it is coming close to a point. Let's jump into the financials. So yeah, TradingView doesn't have anything on it. Let's check OTC markets. So this is dark and defunct. So I do not like any OTCs that are dark and defunct. There's no information on this. SBUM, I'm going to say, is a no-go. It is building up. Maybe there's something to it, but this is something that I wouldn't want nothing to do with. So not bad, Master Sparky, not bad. Looks like you got about 4.5 out of 6 that are actually pretty decent picks. Ones with some good potential. So thank you again, Master Sparky, for this mining list. There's definitely some ones that I'm going to be adding to my watch list. So good value being brought from the community, and that's what we want to see, is everybody in that community sharing info and sharing ticker symbols and strategies and all of that. So if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the Framework Fortune channel, and also check out frameworkfortune.com. And if there's any stocks that you want reviewed, leave them in the comments below, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. Stay safe out there. Until next time.